I hope everybody can hear me. Is there anybody there? It's Lee, Lee in the loft, and Timber, sir. Good afternoon. Nice to see you both. Hope I haven't cut into your live stream, Lee. I know you were doing one. And by the way, can everybody hear me? 5 by 5. That's good enough for me. You'll just see a Helljan just coming past there. That's the class. What is it? Shall I look at the box? It's a class 77. GWR Buckley Junction. Hello, Sean. Nice to see you. And coming this way, that's my son's Helljan 33. I'm sure anybody that just saw that can correct me if it's wrong. I'm pretty sure it's a 33. Nice to see everybody. Yes, I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you to everyone for joining. You go live at 5 soon. Okay. Well, I'll make this one short and sweet. Let me just pull out the old phone. 16:31. We got half an hour. That should do nicely. Put your glasses on. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Actually, all right, I'll do that. Watch this. How's that? Now, don't tell me. Good heavens, it's Rick's Railroad. Hello, Rick's Railroad from the States. Uh, yeah, it's nice to see everybody. Much better. Yeah. Yeah, well, this is what I use for the close work. It gets to the point where, well, once you start getting on a bit in life, the old eyesight fails, and even the glasses, they'll help you focus at a certain length. But for fine details, there's no way you can do what you once did when you were young. Well, at least I'm not squinting anymore. Oh, look, there is eyes here. Yeah, that's it. Well, this is the first time I've ever broadcast, period, and particularly from the shed because it's been so damn cold. Had another go at the track today. It'll change again, right? Okay. Yes, this is a new phenomenon for me. Going live. Hmm. Yeah, it's been quite windy the last 4 days. It just hasn't let off for one day. I mean, really, the wind's been absolutely howling, and some of the gusts have just been phenomenal. You might go live in 2032. Well, man, if I can do it, anybody can do it, I suppose. I've just been on a live stream with Robert's train set, uh, which is great actually, because you get to see straight into his loft. Will it be a regular thing? Well, that depends on the reception, I suppose. If I'm good enough, then there may be a little longevity there. Yeah, lives are fun. Yeah, yes, aren't they just? Very nice. Now, I do have a, let me just point you in the right direction. Let me put these down. I do have the Pullman sitting over in yonder siding. So, I mean, I could do a request. 2 secs, guys. Nice. These are both Helljet. The the Class 77, which is one of these Woodhead electric type locomotives. Um, they were ceased in the late 70s, early 80s, and the whole DC, what would you call it? All the overheads and everything were just torn up, and all of the locomotives, bar a couple, scrapped. Only 480p, by the way. Yeah. Well, that's something that I can probably twiddle with, but I won't twiddle with it now, just in case. I watched people twiddle with things on live streams before, and if you're not Heath or Anthony or I mean, there's a couple of guys here who do really great live streams. If you're not them, don't try it. So I won't. But thank you for the heads up, Timber Surf. Yes, the Woodhead Electric. Um, a lot of these were bought up by Olivia's Trains, that most of you UK people would know about, and yeah, they still got them, obviously at a premium. They ain't cheap. You've got Cam 4 live soon. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, actually, if I squint down here a bit, 16:38. Okay, if you're going live at 5, then I will make way happily. Ivor Junction. Hello, Danny. Yeah, wow, I'm live. Yeah. What happened? A rush of blood to the head. I thought, well, I did have a look around on YouTube and make sure there was nobody else live. Um, apart from somebody who's doing cardboard trains or something like that. So it didn't look as though I was crossing anybody's path. While there's no limits to who can do what and when, it's nice to have a little bit of protocol and uh, not step on anybody's toes in particular. Now, in theory, if I take off the Woodhead Electric, I can run the Pullman. Any requests? I'm happy to bring the Pullman out. Takes a little bit of jiggery pokery, but if you want to see it, I'll happily oblige. Running DC at the moment, I can switch it over to DCC at the flick of a switch, because with these two lines, once I flick the switch, it's a quad pole double throw switch with the center off position. So it literally changes both of the lines from DC to DCC. Hello, Stuart. It's nice to see you, mate. Yes, live. Who would have known? Yeah, who knew? And there's always this over here. Now I picked this up at, I think it might have been Getz or Worley, which is the old operating mail coach type of thing with the shoes underneath. So yes, it's a little bit sticky though, so I might just tear it apart and figure out why. Um, a lot of the mechanism's difficult to access from the outside, so I may have to dismember it a bit. Right. Yeah, that's always great play value, which we need. Trains, kits, etc. Hello. Nice. Dwight Curley. Good heavens. Welcome to England. And the Stars and Stripes are right behind us. Yes. Well, this is quite a gang. And pleasantly surprised. Let me just give a shout out to Anthony Dodge, who gave me a shout out, which I didn't realise. Trains kits, Australia. Laugh out loud. Yeah, Australia too. Good heavens, the other side of the world. Yeah, but we're only separated by time zones. That's all. Right. Well, forgive me a minute. I'm going to sideline the Woodhead, and we'll bring out the big guns. We'll bring out the Pullman. Afternoon train kits. Oh. Train kits, etc. You're at work, paid to be here, such as the night shift. All right. Yeah, good on you. Yeah, it's nice to see you, Danny. What was it? What was the last one you put up? It was the Mark Fives that have just come in from Mercura Scale, and yeah, it was nice to see where they're actually running. 156 Andrew, hello. Can't miss it. Yeah. Ooh, blink and you'll miss it. Yeah, the Caledonian sleepers. Now, Richard over on this side of the layout, he's got I don't know if they're Mark threes or Mark two Ds or E's or F's. But let me I'll just manipulate you over. I hope I don't lose you. Uh, they're right over the back there. Can you see them? Yeah, of course you can. That's the Caledonian sleeper, but they're ones that have already been produced by Bachmann or somebody like that. Try and set you down. Now, if I tilt down a bit, you should at least be able to see some of the action. And yeah, thanks, Danny, because you really get to see these things run by the time everybody's exhausted themselves from explaining all the bits and pieces of detail and why the windows aren't quite right, and because they put a little line around it which gives it a bit of a prismatic effect, blah 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 blah. You want to see if the things actually run. Um, it's great if you're going to stick them in a cabinet, but we don't want to do that. You know, we're action people and we like to see trains running. So they're great, and you ran them, and we could see them not derailing or crumpling themselves on corners because they got buckle lock or whatever like that. And yeah, it's a nice thing to have where you can just flick the wand over the top and the lights come on, so you've got control of those. Very well done, Danny. So yeah, watch that. That's great, and you're obviously tickled pink with them, and I can imagine you would be. I'm not sure how much they cost, but they're probably a pretty penny. But it looks like they were well worth waiting for. Right. Okay, Lee, you're going to go and sort yourself out. We've got about how many? About quarter of an hour. So, and Mr. Timbersurf, nice to see you in. I'll chapping out. See you later. Right. So, without much further ado, I'll wait for this very shiny black Class 77 to come around. I'll just get on the controller. Slow down, my boy. Slow down as she glides past. There we go. Right. I'll take you off. Right. Where is the Pullman? Oh, you like? Okay, that's fine. Right. Let's get the Pullman out. I've got to do a little bit of triggery pokery. So it's the first, second, third line. One, two, third line. We are open. Make sure the power's off. Yeah. I've just got to reset some points, guys, and we'll drag the Pullman straight out. I'll be right back. Right, we need that one. And we need that one and that one. Right, now I should be able to drive straight out. We want reverse set. Here we go. She moves. She glides. What a beauty. Right, she made it through the three-way point, made it onto the main line. I'll just flick a point and we are ready. So here she comes, guys. Come to me, my beauty. Oh, yeah. I like. Now that was, how much was it? £350 rather than the 500 or 600 that they are brand new. It was a brand new machine in the box. It's just never been out of the box in about 5 years. Yeah, fair dues. So I whipped it up. Any suggestions on scratch built brick stacks? Scratch built brick stacks. And that's from Sean. In Engage, yes. Scratch built brick stacks. I think Timber Circle will be able to help you there because he does double O. In Engage, I think I'd go for something. I'm not sure who does all the plastic stuff, like Plastruct or somebody like that. You could do with something which is already sort of printed onto plastic, and then you can just chop it up like that. Yeah, yeah, you're out of ideas. Okay, yeah. Do they do brick paper in Engage? I mean, that would be a challenge for your eyeballs. Evergreen styrene. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I had in mind. Yeah. But do they do it with like an embossed brick on it? Mm. Got the brick paper. I'd suggest getting some. How thick would it be? I don't know, half mil plastic, anything up to 1 mil plastic. You believe they do, Rick? Okay. Yeah, Engage stuff. Yeah, I think that would be the way to go. If you could get something that's embossed and then paint it and then slosh on some, whether you want your mortar highlighted light or dark, then put a wash on it and then give it a white. That's what I've seen most people do. Yeah, that might be worth a stab. Or you can go down the paper route, but obviously because it's not embossed, then you can't put on a wash and wipe it. Um, it's a nice effect when I've seen people do brick. Oh, that's nice. Thank you for stopping by. Uh, you're looking for some furniture to go into your diner to trim. Hmm, furniture. Okay. Now I seem to remember it was a roundhouse kit that I bought from the States. Well, I thought it was a kit, but somebody had actually built it and they'd left the roof loose. So I picked the roof off and it was fully furnished inside with all these little stoves and all the rest of it, little seats and crates. And I think it was a baggage car. And it was really good. And I was tickled pink because I only thought it was a kit. No, no mortar. They're just stacked. Oh, So tiny, tiny, tiny bricks. Oh, that is a tough one. Yeah, TPEs and a DVT trailing behind. Yeah, that looks good. Best person to make furniture is Tony Northeastern. Yeah, Tony's a great guy. I've caught some of his stuff, but you can only there's only so many hours you can watch everybody do their stuff. Uh, Stuart, a staple to the cog on a 225 motor in the grooves makes him have quite. Oh, right, okay, yeah, yeah. That's the only thing I problem I've got with CD motors. You change the old three-pole ring field for a CD motor, but you're still saddled with the same old gears that you've got on the traditional Hornby setup. So there's not much you can do about that. I'm pretty sure nobody makes a kit that goes that far. Brick paper, but not stacked. Yeah, yeah, that's a tough one, Sean. Imagine what an individual brick would be, size would be in Engage. Yeah, it's bad enough in OO or HO, but Engage tiny. Yeah, I'm sure there's a solution, but it just depends which road you want to go down, I suppose, Sean. Yeah, 2 millimeter. Yeah, well, if that's 2 millimeters a foot, how long's a brick? 8, 10 inches. So you're talking about not even a millimeter. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, you'd have a job building a wall out of discrete parts, would you not? Right, what's the time? 16:53. We have got something in the order of 7 minutes. Uh, Stuart's got them on order two, a few weeks away. Okay. That suggests they're either on their way from China or they're sitting in the docks waiting for the customs and excise guys to go through them. Yes, I believe I'm broadcasting in at quite a low rate, something like 460p. So on the next one, I'll try and up that. But if my son's also using the broadband and he's doing any kind of gaming or streaming, then we're sharing that. So yeah, that might be a bit tougher. Yeah, I might try and get a spot in the week where I can go live. Um, Obviously not interfering with anybody else, and so I can yeah try and find a spot in the week. Although the 37s have been delayed even more now, end of May, batch two. Okay, so our batch one still coming in March? Yeah, I'll get my ugly keister out of the way. And we should be able to see a little more of it then. Yeah, that's the Hilljan 33. And make a brick paper when you run your hands over it, feels like brick. It's not smooth. Oh, that's interesting. White curly, right. Okay. Yes, Anthony did give me a shout out on one of his it was sort of came up as a message and somebody put a like on one of my videos and the comment came up on there. He says, "This is from Anthony who's giving you a shout out." And I thought, "Oh, that's nice of him." Because I wondered why suddenly my subscriber number had shot up by a factor of about I think it was about 10 people. And I thought, it's unusual. I wonder why. Yeah, Anthony gave me a shout out. So thank you very much, Anthony. And it's still laid and not stacked. Hmm. Yeah, that is a tough one. That's going to take a bit of thought power to get that around that one, I think. Yes, I won't get onto the subject of Hornby. Unfortunately, when they shafted Rails of Sheffield by bringing out the Terrier before Rails of Sheffield, who obviously spent a great deal of money on it, just as a, oh, well, it's one of our portfolios, so you can't tread on our toes type of thing. And then once they finished with that, they then upset the entire community by trying to do the typical Thunderbolt thing through the back door, which was a bit of a disgrace. Actually, they disgraced themselves, and so they don't help themselves, and it just makes people bitter. And I thought, right, okay, okay, Hornby, do what you want. You give a shout out and you go back down. Yeah, yeah, as far as you can shout out. Yeah, very kind, very kind. But I'll try and do something a little different. Perhaps I'll place the laptop in a better position. I'll do a few experiments and see what we can come up with. If this computer is good enough, then I'll whack it up to 720 and perhaps try and add another camera into it instead of using the one, so I can have a little mobile instead of using the one attached to the PC. So we'll see. Good heavens, it's Clive. Hello, Clive. I've been working at being crap since 2000 and they just excelled in the last 10 years. Yeah, yeah. It's a shame, really, because they seem to have, what with their ill-fated tiering system, of which I don't think many of the shops know what tier they're in. Um, it'll all end in tears, as they say, and yeah. So the retailers don't know whether they're coming or going. Neither do the customers. Uh, I'm not sure, Andy. I assume that batch one is still on course, but the Euro Phoenix and DRS one I ordered or received an email yesterday from Akira Scale. Now, is that in batch two, though? I suspect it is, Danny, but the batch one I think was still due for March. If you're a stream that's unlisted, then you can get a mate to tune in. Yeah, I could probably do that with my son actually if he feels as though he should. Certainly that being you putting them. Yeah, well, hopefully I'm not putting everybody through it. Yeah, put you all through a ringer. Anyway, it's coming up to 5 o'clock, so I'm going to make way for Lee. Thank you all very much for coming in. It's really much appreciated. I'm going to carry on twiddling some trains for a while. It's great to see you all, and I'll catch up with you soon. So I'm going to say ciao for now, guys. I'll catch you later. So long.